God damn. You might hear my king in the background, but there's no way that I can't put this at the very beginning of recording that I did, I don't know, maybe about 3 days ago. This is crazy. Columbia River mainstream. This is the tributary fishery report for March 20 to 26 of this year. Okay, let's try to outline. Yep, there we go. March 29, 2023. Just yesterday by the time I'm recording this. This is the main stem, Columbia River. And this is for the salmon and the steelhead that they were fishing for. 66 bank anglers. Let me explain what bank anglers are. An angler is a specific type of fishing rod that is designed to increase the rate of catch. And many, as it says, right, why are fishermen called anglers? It's not the name of a type of fish. And there may be something out there called angler, but in this report, they're talking about fishermen. 66 bank anglers, meaning the fishermen were lined up on the bank, and they released only one steelhead. That means they caught one that was way too tiny, and they had to throw it back. And then section 2, this is different parts of the Columbia River. 4 boats, 6 rods, had no catch. Let's just keep going. Let's not even read the number or anything. 2 bank anglers had no catch. 12 boats, 21 rods, no catch. 29 bank anglers, no catch. 44 boats, 78 rods, kept 2 Chinook. 19 bank anglers had no catch. 27 boats, 39 rods, kept 1 Chinook. 27 bank anglers had no catch. 40 boats, 116 rods had no catch. 8 boats, 19 rods, no catch. 79 bank anglers kept 2 steelhead and released 2 steelhead. 103 boats, 208 rods released. Only 2 Chinook and 1 steelhead. So this is why you need to listen to this entire share. Donate or purchase my products, my soap, my books, Furnace of Affliction. You need that one because what's killing these fish? They're not eating McDonald's. Okay? They're eating their natural diets. But if you do not know how to target radiation specifically, this ain't stopping there. I said the Pacific Ocean, they done killed that. And you'll see coming up. But these fish, I wish they could read. I wish we would read because then we could work on saving them. Peace and blessings, family. Sister Ajali. The entire planet needs to hang a gone fishing forever sign up because what is happening on the west coast of the unentitled snakes of America, which I'm including Canada and its governmental bodies in that, is just going to spread. Its radiation has never, ever stood still. And they have lied about it from day one. That is the unprecedented precedent of the ways they have infested us with both the contamination of our bodies, of our environment, but most principally of our minds, is by never speaking on it, so that by law, killing someone with radiation isn't against the law, especially if it is overseen by the governmental bodies of the planet, which are already, forget about setting up a, one world global government. They already have when it comes to genociding everybody using man-made radiation. The reason why I am so confident in my conclusions is because I just keep on reading and reading and reading. What they did in Chernobyl was gore-drippingly. I mean, there's no horror movie on par with what the governments of the world committed in Chernobyl against what you would think, oh, these are cute little white children. But they didn't give a damn. They actually stopped them from curing these children. When you get the radiation out of the body, all of the ailments that those people who were in the areas hit by radiation, when they got the radiation out of their bodies, they were being cured. Do you know that the World Health Organization, under the command of the International Atomic Energy Agency, which that agency was set up by the nuke industry itself, and the World Health Organization that's supposed to be run by the UN, has an agreement that they won't say a damn thing that the IAEA doesn't agree with. Do you know the World Health Organization went on in to the areas affected by Chernobyl and shut down any agency, any clinic that was actually healing the people. And so, oh my goodness, let me just go through it because I need to show and prove. Because otherwise, we're just not going to get this. There's a beguilement. It's a possession that I don't want you to get spooky over. I want you to know it's real. So when you think of rock and roll music, do you know that throughout the world, they only take rock and roll music seriously if it's sung in English? Because it was started by Black Us here in the unentitled Snakes of Murderca, but then the British went also and, added their own voices to that. And so it just recently I don't know if it was Italy, if it was Spain, they gave an award to a rock and roll group that was singing in their native language. It had never happened before because you attribute authority like ducklings just being born. You give that mother just automatic definition of this is the only way to be successful. If the white man tells you this is the way to be successful, that's the way it is. You give that authority to the one that you are first introduced as the source of this acknowledgement. And so the same thing when it comes to everything that white people do. But definitely when it comes to radiation, because they have written out methods of fooling people that are quite convincing. And I've lost different subscribers who, just because they did a Google search, they thought they were getting the facts about radiation. Oh, hell no, you're not. Hell no, you're not. But because I'm not a considered source of authority, they believe the devil himself. So let's just roll out what's going on the West Coast of the Americas. No commercial. I don't know how to pronounce that, and my apologies over that. But Togiak Sac-Roe herring fishery this spring after years of a shrinking market. They're going to come up with every single excuse they can. Why would the market be shrinking? I've already shown the pictures. I don't know if these are herring, but I've shown dead pictures and memes of herring that as far as the eye could see, they were all gone. Herring are one of the core sources of food in the oceans. So, yeah, the herring go, and that was part of the meme, was everything else is going too. All right, much of Oregon faces devastating salmon fishing ban. This ain't salmon fishing ban. Why would they be banning it if the salmon were there and in huge numbers? White people love making money. There's no fish there. Alaska pollock industry warns of full fishery closure if subsistence advocates push through hard cap on chum salmon bycatch. They make it seem like it's all about the legislation, not the reason why they're enacting the legislation. Ocean salmon fishing ban off California and Oregon as stocks plummet. At least this one is honest. Reg Seafood, Maui, Cermak requests judicial review of closure of key BC, British Columbia, salmon farming regions. British Columbia is a place where Dana Durnford, he doesn't like me, I don't like him, but I appreciate what he does, went sailing and documented it looks like Mars. Due to significantly low preseason forecasts, Alaska Department of Fish and Game closes Cook Inlet king salmon sport fishing. These native populations are taking these governments to court, saying, wait a minute, this is our right to fish like this. They even had on national public ridiculousness radio an article where they were saying ancient farming or harvesting practice of gathering clams and crabs on the coastline of these tribes is, going away. No, it's eating. When did eating ever become ancient? But that's what National Public Radio said about it, okay? And just to confirm, these guys, they're sucking up, all these creatures are sucking up what's in the water, and they're also being affected by the broken biological chain where the algae, where we get our oxygen from, they're being killed first and foremost because the smaller an organism is, the more the radiation is going to affect it. And so they're being killed. The oxygen levels across the planet are depleting because there's man-made radioactive sources all over the place. And then the lower oxygen, they say a lot of these fish die also due to the low levels of oxygen when nuclear power plants burn 1 million gallons of fresh water. Has to be fresh water. And the amount of fresh water on this planet is insignificant compared to salt water. But anyway, they're burning all of that and sending out all these radioactive isotopes into the lakes and the rivers. And so, yeah, stuff is dying like you have never seen before. But they're not, the scientists, they're baffled, they're befuddled, they're bemused more likely. All right. And so the shrimp gut microflora is largely derived from the aquatic rearing environment. So they're saying that farm raised and the aquaponics, they're not the same as the fish that are out in the natural environment. So in the natural environment, whatever is around, that's what you're eating. And the agroponics is, I wouldn't trust that unless they're filtering the water. If you want to gather people together, these are things that you could do. If you get the warning out that I'm sharing, is you can gather resources so you could have your own indoor fish farms. If that's how much a lot of us love fish, that's the only possibility for continuing that love and surviving it. And like this share that I did about the 1 billion missing crabs. It's turned out it was like some crazy number, 9 billion or something. What? This was happening in the Pacific. Well, here we go. I was just talking about a lawsuit accuses Alaska of unconstitutionally mismanaging Yukon-Kuskokwim salmon fisheries. Okay, these lawsuits are happening big time. You don't hear about this. You're going to hear about Kim Kardashian's butt, but you ain't going to hear about this, except for right here. Fishing salmon season canceled. Feds closed Chinook salmon seasons in California is due to drought effects. So let's go over the reasons, because they don't tell you the reasons for the droughts either. This is the marine radioactivity information system. It's a map showing all the different tests that they've done all over the planet. These dudes, they know, they're just lying and we believe them, okay? But one of the most abundant isotopes that they find right there, I didn't even know. I just clicked on this, 3H. That's tritium. That's what they say with TEPCO is in those drums that they've collected, the runoff from the Fukushima destroyed reactors. They say it's just tritium, but that's a lie. It's got everything because they can't filter out the radiation. Radiation is hot. It destroys stuff. Every single time they would filter, like, I don't know, maybe 100 gallons, they would have to change the filtration system because it would be destroyed. So there's plutonium, strontium, all the thousands of isotopes. They're in that water. But the most abundant radioactive isotope is the tritium, which is hot water, which melts at a much lower temperature, just a couple degrees, but that's low enough to change everything, to change the dynamics of our weather systems, which we've seen, and thereby it evaporates faster. That's what's causing the droughts. And so the way that they hide what man-made radiation does is based on the atomic bomb survivors and just examining the external levels of radiation. But when they went back and studied the survivors, they found out that the dose, the rate of cancers were going up. Let's see right here. The primary analyses are based on more than 27,000 non-cancer disease deaths that occurred in the cohort between October 1st, 1950 and December 31st, 1990. 30% more than in the previous report. Because if you don't target this stuff and get it out of your body, and the survivors were eating what was grown in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, so they were consuming the radiation, which is you just need one atom in your body to cause chaos. Their succumbing to the effects was growing rather than decreasing. But they only go by, when it comes to you and me, the external dose rate. Well, this is what we're looking at coming from Fukushima. I know folks may get tired of me talking about this, but I'm actually at this point in time, I'm just so tired of talking about anything else because this is what they hide. And we forget. But that radiation, it's in your food. It ain't forgetting. And the effects of it are going to be global, far-reaching, generation after generation, getting worse unless we get that warning out. So go to 25,000yearcycle.org. There is no other website like this on the whole planet. It's weird to me. I'm not saying that because it's a compliment, because I'm like, ooh, we bad, we amazing. No, this should be shared globally. We don't need massive quantities of money or anything whatsoever to be about you. So go to this website where you will find healing for just what the devil has intended for each and every single one of us, right? We got this. Straight black family pride, and we'll be just fine. Peace and blessings, family.